Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to talk about Ready to Love. I know I'm a day late and a dollar short. I know, but it's okay. We're gonna get to it. Basically, it picks up exactly where it left off, where we're finding out who gets sent home. Corvea gets sent home, and I was actually happy, not that she was being sent home, but that Big Slow didn't win with all that yelling and shit he was doing. Oh, what are we saving it for? Dude, it just makes more sense to save it. You're a dumbass. And he sounds, I said I was going to be nice. He's just in the confessional like, I wanted to save Corvea, but it has to be a unanimous decision, and the other guys did not want to save her. So I don't know how people have a conversation with this man. I don't understand how he's still here, but okay. So Corvea has to go. All right, so as Corvea's leaving, she's in the confessional saying that, her connection was Big Slow, and if he really wants her, he'll come find her. I'm sure he will. By the reunion, they'll be dating because nobody else wants Big Slow. Or her for that matter. I wonder how much money Big Slow has. Like, I don't know if this is really going to last. But anyway, Tommy lets them know that there's an after party at the Hard Rock Cafe. So they're sitting outside having brunch. It looks really nice, looks really, listen, they are on the water. It looks nice. So we have all these little conversations. And I do want to add that I believe I'm enjoying this season more than the past few seasons where they weren't together all the time. Like, I feel like maybe the producers are finally getting the fact that we get to know them better when they're all in the same setting, and we get more background on them as opposed to just seeing them. They're trying to cram all these people in, all these dates in, and we just get like 5 minute dates of these people. We just don't feel emotionally connected to these people. So I actually feel like I'm getting to know these people, and there's some background. So I do like that, and hopefully they stick with that. But Blake talks to, what's her name, Old Face, and she's sitting there telling him how, Jeffrey came to speak to them, and she's used to dealing with difficult people, but in this setting she doesn't want to do it. She's in the confessional calling Jeffrey like a child. It's like being at Thanksgiving and she's at the adult table and Jeffrey's at the children's table. And I'm like, girl, you constantly have to put somebody down in order to put yourself up. No, you were in somebody else's business that was not your business, and this is what happens. Get over it. Okay, so then we have Blake in the confessional saying how he is upset that Jeffrey just blatantly lied on him, yada yada. And you guys, I have a different take on what happened last week when he came to speak with her. However, he wouldn't come out with what was said. I feel like Blake is lying. I'm sorry, he's just flat out lying. Because if she's sitting here and she's saying, tell me what was said, if he didn't say it, then he would say it so that she could say, oh no, I didn't say that, or maybe I got it wrong. But the fact that he wouldn't even repeat it in front of her and in front of the camera, to me, make it seems like no, he definitely said it, and he don't want to say it to where she's like, fool, you right in my face lying. Like, you definitely said this shit. So I feel like he took the easy way out. And my thing is, if you know you said it, then why are you confronting her? I just feel like he was confronting her because his feelings was hurt, which is what he told her. He was a little hurt from it. He was just hurt from the fact that she came out with it. Not that she lied. I don't feel like she lied. I'm sorry. So anyway, wrapping these two boring people up, they are forcing it. He don't like her. He really doesn't. Like, you could tell he's just forcing it to stay on the show. There it is. Okay, before moving on with the actual show, one more thing I want to say about last week's episode. After watching a clip again, I feel like Marcia, is that her name? Gums. She did not like him from jump. She didn't like Blue, and she knew it, and that's the type of energy she was giving off. So that is why she came in just keeping it all the way funky, like know this, know that, know that, because she didn't give a shit. Like, she didn't want him to choose her. I don't know why I didn't pick up on that, where I'm just like, oh, what is she doing? But if you watch the way her mannerisms were just like, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't want you. So you can get up and walk away. When he's like, oh, talking about kids, should I get up now and walk away? And she's like, I'm just saying, why complicate your life when you don't have to? Like, she didn't want him to choose her. So there's that. I just want to clear that up because after watching it again, she did it on purpose. All right, so then we have Cynthia and Anthony. They go on a date. She is quite smitten with him, apparently. She's like, damn, when you came around that corner. And Anthony's not a bad looking guy. He's not my type, but he's not a bad looking guy at all. And he seems to be getting a little shine this episode. The women are now starting to notice him. So good for Anthony. Cynthia, of course, she always has really good dates to me. Like I said, I like the way she answered her questions. She just seemed very open and honest, and I'm all about it. She doesn't really have any other connections, did she? Her connection went home, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. Oh yeah, the guy with the curly Q was her biggest connection. Who else is she connected to? Can y'all remember? I can't remember. But yeah, they had a cute little date, and I like it. Oh, Jesus, y'all. Now we got to deal with Big Slow again. I feel like this episode was Big Slow heavy because, oh, God. So, him and Jeffrey going on a date. Something different is going on with Jeffrey's makeup, and she looks a little disheveled. I'm not going to lie. She's in the confessional saying that he was acting a little strange even before the game or whatever. So, he said that whatever is going on, they'll talk about it on the date. So, fine. That when they get there, gives her a hug and everything, and then he sits down and he's like, "We played an interesting game yesterday," and I'm just like, "Oh God." So now we get the fact that he has an issue with. Well, I'm not gonna jump ahead. Hold on. All right, so Jeffrey starts off by telling him that she was a little disappointed because she didn't get a whole lot of time with him on the boat. And he's like, well, I can't really tell because, it went the game and everything. And she's like, okay, yeah, it was a game. Well, you could have declined to kiss him. And she's like, but it was a game. Well, if it's somebody you don't really like, you don't have to kiss them on the lips. And she was like, well, listen, me and Mark Anthony went out right before that. So kind of she was still on the high from Mark Anthony. She hadn't really spoken to Big Slow or anything. So, okay. And she's like, were you being attentive before the game? Like, what was going on? He's like, I didn't even speak to you. And I'm like, yes, slow ass. And she's like, exactly. So why would I choose you for the kiss? Like, it makes no sense. And she's saying that he's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because now he's acting super pissed off, even though in the confessional he's saying, I don't really care though. Like, I don't care. I'm not mad. I'm just going to go a different way. No, you look big mad. Big Slow looks big mad. Y'all, this fool then says to her, what will your kids say about you kissing like this random guy or whatever? Now, mind you, if she would have kissed him, he still would have been a random guy. Fuck is you talking about? Number one. Number two, don't ever bring my kids into it. Like, the kids ain't got nothing to do with this. He should have never asked her that question. It was so disrespectful to me. So disrespectful. But her answers were great. She was like, my kids would say my mom is building a connection with her top person. Great. And she's like, what will my kids say about a guy who's claiming to really be all into me? However, he's walking right past me like he don't know me. And I'm like, you better shut him down, Jeffrey. Shut his ass up because he just sounds stupid. And for him to sit there with that smug look on his face after bringing up her kids, I'd have cussed him flat the fuck out, y'all, because I feel like you don't bring the kids into it. What was your point in that? What was your point in it? Like, you really trying to shame her for giving this guy a peck on the lips? Are you kidding me? Y'all, and then his last comment was such a bitch ass comment. It shows that he's nothing but a slow ass, he's a slow bitch. I'm telling you, honestly. Like, oh my God, anybody watching this that would still talk to him, what's wrong with you, sis? Because any guy who wants to take digs at a woman, she ain't even did nothing to him. She has done nothing to him except kiss another guy on the lips. And you are not her boyfriend. She says she had one date with each of them. So why do you feel like you are so superior to Mark Anthony? Like, what makes you think that you were way up there on her list? Did she tell you were number one? So for him to be so butthurt about her giving a peck is ridiculous. He said, oh, I dodged a bullet because of three things. Number one, I never seen her without makeup. Now, number one, dumbass, she had makeup on. It was just the wrong color. That's all. She did. Her face did look a little bit orange at the bottom. I got to give that to him. But she's not an ugly girl. So even with the wrong makeup on, no makeup on, she's not ugly. So for him to try to take a dig at her, yeah, that's a bitch. Then he's talking about how she just kissed a random. He's a random. You're random too. Like she don't know you either. Oh, then he said that she don't take criticism well. You don't take anything well. Slow ass. You don't take nothing well. Like it was a game. So how are you? Ugh, y'all, let me stop on this man. Let me stop. All right, so next we have Marcy setting up a date with Blake, Jeffrey, and Blue. It's just messy. Marcy's just messy because she even says that she got them together because she wants to know the facts of what went down. It's not your business, girl. Ugh. But anyway, they do this whole meditation thing with the bowls and the vibrations and everything. And of course, the only person who has a complaint about it is Blake. He's too close to it. It's really hurting. The vibrations are killing him. It's too loud. He hated it. He called it weird. I'm like, he's the weirdest one on this show right now. And he has the nerve to call anything weird. Okay. So when they're done with that, the lady gives them magazines to do a collage. And I'm like, this is so random. That's so fucking random. Like, tear out the pages of things. It's random, but Marcy Gum says she loves it. She loves the date. And she starts by saying, "So, what's happening? You know what happened on the boat? There's a little bit of tension." And again, irritated. I'm irritated because it's not your business. Just saying, maybe the producers had her do it. I don't know. But why is she all into their business like this? All right, so Blake did one thing right. He told her, listen, it's not even worth talking about. Because again, you don't want to talk about the lie that you told and be caught in a lie. So you don't want to talk about it. But that's fine because once again, it's not her business. So he's like, it's not even worth talking about. Jeffrey says, well, listen, I ain't got nothing to say. That would be on him. He's the one with the hurt feelings and the issue. And then he's in the confessional saying, oh, she just really wants some attention from me. And I'm just not going to give her the attention. I don't understand how that seemed like she wanted attention from him, but okay, Blake. All right, so it just dawned on me that we have Marcy and Blue, Marcia Gums, y'all. I just can't remember her name. I think it is Marcia, but we have her and Blue on this date with them, and we have people who don't like each other all on this date. They've already friend zoned each other, but okay. But now we have Blue saying that maybe he likes Jeffrey because of her collage was about family and everything. His kind of was too. What's his name? Mohawk. Blake told he had a whole bunch of watches and luxury items or whatever, and he said time is the most precious, and with that then you can get the luxury items. His shit just didn't make sense because he doesn't make sense. However, it was not for Jeffrey to critique. It's like, girl, now I feel like you are trying to get his attention. So maybe editing did it wrong to where he said she was trying to get his attention after this comment, because why are you commenting on his collage? Like nobody else is really commenting on anybody else's shit in in a way of critiquing, and she's just like, so I see all materialistic things there and I don't see anything about family. And I'm just like, that's not your business. You don't like him, y'all not gonna be together, why do you care? Move on. So again, her and Blue said that they might like each other, so great. All right, so now we have a couple dates. We have Tony and Cynthia, the Brad style, going out, and she likes him, but she tells him that, there's some other good candidates here. She really does like Lyndon or whatever. And he's like, I don't care. I don't care. She's like, well, you asked me, so I'm, oh, excuse me. She's like, well, you asked me, so that's why I'm, letting you know. And he's in the confessional like, I ain't got no competition. I'm not worried about nobody because he's Mr. Smooth, right? We also have a date with Blake and Round the Way Girl 2, Jonika, going on. And she looks really pretty. She looks really pretty on her date. But yeah, she said in the confessional that he's giving weird. Everything about it. Like he's just weird, which he is. We all know that Blake is standoffish. He's weird. He's on his own planet. He's a goddamn space cadet for real. For real, for real. So they're talking about what you like, what sort of interests, and he does ask her what she's into, and she's like, shoot, drinking, just be around the way, partying, turning up. And now I ain't gonna lie, she sound like Round the Way Girl Part 2, for real, for real. So I'm not mad at him for looking at her like she lost her mind, because girl, why are you saying that? But then she says she's become a makeup enthusiast, and all that was a little too late. So he's in the confessional saying how they're on two different wavelengths, basically, and he wished her luck. So she's like, do you want to ask me any questions? And he's like, nah, mm-mm. like zero interest whatsoever. And she's like, I don't care. I don't like him anyway. All right, so we wrap up the date with no, uh, the Brett Style. What is her name? I don't know her name. The Brett Style and Tony, and they like each other, giving each other big hugs and everything. She's in the confessional saying she's smitten with him. He's saying that he does have a connection with a couple other girls, but after this date, they just really need to bring it. So, okay, fine. They look cute together. I ain't mad at it. All right, y'all. So we're talking about all the connections, and it seems like everybody is having a connection to Mr. Anthony. Like I said, he stepped up this episode, and a lot of people are liking him. So he's safe. Um, of course, Old Face don't have nobody but Blake. Ugh, they could just go. What's her name? Mercedes says she likes Anthony and Mark Anthony, and I forgot she was there. Like, I honestly forgot she was there. I feel like she doesn't really have a real connection. She's gonna end up going. Who else? Marcia Gum said that she likes blue. And I'm like, no, that's a wrap, sis. We already saw what happened last episode. This episode, the little collage, that was nothing. Like, he's already friend zoned you. You already came off in a bad way. That's not going to work out. And she didn't say anyone else. That's the problem. So I feel like she got to go. She has no connections. So now we get to who we don't like. All right, so far everybody is picking Big Slow. They not feeling Big Slow. And when we get to Jeffrey, Tommy asks, what's going on? What happened there? And she's like, we had this date. He came off like he was really upset about this kiss. However, he sent me a text. And then Tommy was like, what did he say? I'm like, good question, Tommy. And she goes on to say how he's like, oh, he wants to make up from the last date where he was all upset. He feels like they have a really good connection. I'm like, no, he just know he's on the chopping block. He knows that the women have the upper hand on this one, and that's the only reason why he's doing that. He's so phony. Ugh. And when she says that, I was gonna call her Curly Sue. Old Face is like, but you did say you guys had a connection last time. And she's like, hold up. First of all, why are you always advocating for the men? Secondly, I kept the same energy that I had with him. His energy changed. So why are you always speaking up for the men? You spoke up for Blake. You speaking up for me. Like, why are you worried about what I'm doing? She said, if you have the same if you have chemistry with Blake and you like him and he's your top, then focus on you. Like, you don't have to focus on what I'm doing. And I'm going to have to agree. I'm sorry. Why is Advocate Sue, why is Advocate Sue Old Face sticking her big nose into their business all the time? Like, why do you have to say anything when Jeffrey's talking? If I'm not feeling you, girl, you don't exist to me. Like, I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm not going to speak over you. I'm going to act like you just absolutely said nothing. You never had the floor because you don't exist. So why are you even giving her the time of day? Old Face needs to go too. Yeah, I just feel like everybody needs to go. uh, Old Face just had the nerve to be in the confessional saying it's giving obsessed. Like, if she don't like him, then just move on. She didn't say anything about Blake. Like, oh my God, y'all, she's so irritating. All right, so we wrap it up with Big Slow meeting up with Round the Way Girl, and the conversation was just like, oh, it was killing my ears. She was like, yeah, so such so and so, and he was like, yeah, but I think we have a lot in common. And I'm like, he's such a liar. He's saying anything to try to stay on this show. Cynthia meets up with Blake, and y'all, it's such a shame that Blake is such a goof, space cadet, weirdo, all of that, because he really is cute. It's too bad he got the freaking hair like that, and all of it, just all of it, just seems like a huge waste to me because he's not bad looking at all. But Cynthia just kind of breaks it down to him that the women feel like he's kind of stiff, he comes off wrong, this and that, and he feels like he's just really ready to love and he's in it because they kept him again. So we end up getting rid of Big Slow, thank God. It's so many people that gotta go, y'all. So many people. But that's okay. We're going to let everybody wait their turn because Gum should be next. Uh, why I keep wanting to call this girl Destiny? Mercedes or whatever her name is. She should be next. Definitely Blake got to go. Like, he been on the bottom, what, 4, 5 times? Just let this fool go. Like, why is he still here? So I'm confused about next week's episode, you guys. Why does it look like a reunion episode with all the women and the men sitting there? Are they in the little deliberation room together? Like, was there a special meeting called or something? I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, so we'll see what happens next week. It looks like it's gonna be interesting. I'm just over old face. I want her to go. I want her to go next. Like, bottom line, I want her to go next. So we shall see what happens. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. Thank you very much. I would like to shout out my new subbies. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you have not already, please consider. We would love to have you. It is absolutely free of charge. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, you guys, because it does wonders for my analytics, and I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will actually be Potomac tonight or tomorrow, just depending on how I feel. All right, smooches.